Hello, plant community. I'm Pam, and today is Thriving Thursdays. Hello, once again, I'm Pam, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is Thriving Thursday Part 3 of a 4-part series. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Part 1 and 2, please do so. I have some beautiful plants there as well that's been thriving under my care. Please give it a like. That would really help me out, and I appreciate any support that you can provide. Now for today, for the part 3, I have 2 plants that I want to share with you guys that I feel that has grown tremendously under my conditions. The first one I'm going to start out with is this Peperomia obtusifolia. I believe this is the lemon lime version. Look how large this is. Now it's lemon lime because I'm not quite sure if you can actually see. Yeah, right here is a good example. You see how it has like that camouflage like color. And that's what really drew me to the plant. The fact that the color as well as the actual structure of the leaves. I just love that kind of oval shapeness to the leaves as well as the thickness of it. I love the thickness of the stem. But I've had this plant for about, I say 6 or maybe 7 months now. And over the past summer, it has just grown tremendously. It is completely full. And even though we are in the fall season, about to approach winter, it is still happy with the conditions that I've given it, and it's still maintaining some form of growth. And it's even starting to flower, as you can see. Not spectacular flowers, but it's still flowers nonetheless, which is a great sign to tell you that your plant is liking whatever condition you are providing it with. So I still have it in the original nursery pot that it came in with the actual soil mixture that it came in as well. And I like the soil mixture that it did come in. I want to say this is a Costa Farms pot, and it looks like that they have it in like cacti soil with perlite in it. And it seems to be liking it, so I'm not changing this anytime soon. I do have it sitting in my, I say southeast facing window. So it's getting some light, some filtered light from the southeasting window, and it's also getting some indirect light, I say about a good 10 feet away from my west facing window. I let it completely dry out all the way. And sometimes if it feels dry, I do wait maybe a day or 2 before I actually water it again. So I actually water it and let it drain completely through from the bottom. I usually do that twice to give it a nice good soak. And that's pretty much it. I just sit in the window, like I said, the southeast facing window, and it tends to like that environment. I have it in my sunroom where I do have a humidifier that's typically set at a 50%. But as far as peperomias, they're not requiring a whole lot of humidity or anything like that. Their main issue is drying out and getting plenty of light. So yeah, I love this very much, and it's very healthy. It hasn't been giving me any problems. I haven't had any experiences with any type of pests or anything like that. So if you're one of those people that don't, baby your plants, or you don't want to be worried with watering them every time you turn around, this is definitely a plant for you. So give you guys another look at this. It is just a beaut. Oh, look at that. I love it. Now my next plant I've had for almost a year, and it has been thriving very well under my conditions. And this would be the Maranta, the red Maranta, aka prayer plant. And as you can see as well, it has flowered, even though it's not, this flower is about to actually, let's see, won't focus. It's not that much of a flower, but it does flower. This is the latest one, And I have a growth point right here for a flower to come out soon, as well as this growth point. Now, usually I think the flowers, they're very small and they're white and it looks pretty, so I do let them stay on, but after a while I do tend to cut them off. You don't necessarily have to cut them off. They say that if you leave the flowers, that a lot of the plant's energy will go to promoting the growth of that flower. I just haven't really seen any signs of that, so but I usually just cut it off after a while. But when I do that, more of them just come, so I'll just leave them there. And really, I haven't seen too much of a difference as far as the growth pattern for versus whether or not if you leave the flower on there or not. But I just love this plant for the contrasting colors of that green. And it has that little pop of, I guess, what color is that? Like a reddish pop, and then in the back it just has that red tone. I mean, you just can't beat such beauty. This plant here, almost opposite care, I have it sitting on the floor in my sunroom, and it's sitting on my floor below a west-facing window, so it's getting dampened light because I have other plants that's kind of above it. So I'm trying to give it what it's usually used to as far as crawling on the floor and receiving just dampened light. It seems to like that. These plants do love humidity, but once again, like I said, in my sunroom, I try not to go beyond too much with the 50%. Sometimes I may raise it up to like 60, but that will really be my max. But for the most part, on average, it's about 50% humidity in here, and it seems to be doing fine. I don't water this plant with any filtered water or anything. I actually just use the water out of my tap. I have several like gallons that I just fill up, and I let it sit at least over 24 hours before I do use it on here, and it seems to be okay. As you can see right here, it has some crisping leaves, but this was actually, I think, some of the crispiness of these leaves was actually already on the plant when I received it. Like right here, it was like a slight tear and a little bit of crispiness. But for the most part, as you can see, and there's not really a lot of crispiness to the leaves. So either my water here is very good because it's tap, it's city water, so I don't have well water or anything like that. When I was a new plant parent, I was trying to be a stickler and try to just stick to the regimen of this plant and do the distilled water thing. But when you have as many plants as I do, and it can really become costly, so I just said, I can't afford that. That's not very budget friendly, so I just use the water that I'm already paying for here in my town. And I never let this plant dry out. It's been in my experience, when I let them dry out, they're not forgiving. That's when they really start crisping of the leaves and will shrivel up and actually fall very quickly. So what I've been able to do to maintain the constant growth of this is I don't let it dry out no less than 1 inch of the soil. Literally, when 1 inch of this soil is dry, that's when I give it some water. Now, since we are in the non-growing season, I'm not putting water in here enough for it to actually drain out. To me, I think under my care, my conditions, doing that will damage the plant. It's been my experience that it will damage this plant, especially when it's not in growing season and if it's not using up a lot of energy from the sun. So I don't do that, especially in the wintertime. I just don't. So I just put enough water in here just to make the top inch of the soil moist, and I leave it alone. And believe it or not, it's just been working well for me. And I want to show you guys something that I thought was pretty cool. I wasn't quite sure. I don't know what to do with it. Let's see. You see this? It's actually grown out of the pot and produced a little leaf. I just think that's so cool. I mean, I guess I could cut it right here and just maybe stick this in water to develop the roots a little bit longer, and then I can make a whole new plant. But I just like that because it's a sign of, it's like, plants have their own characteristics and own personality, I think, and I think that's kind of cool and funky. So I think I might just leave it here for a while and just see where it goes. But yeah, I think it's cool. So yeah, guys, those are the two plants that have been thriving under my care. We're almost around the end of this series, but please comment below if you're interested in seeing more of other plants that I have in my collection to thrive. We can actually continue on this series. It doesn't necessarily have to stop at the fourth episode, but please let me know. And if you have any plants that are thriving under your care, please share with us. And also, too, if you want, give me a follow on Instagram. It's full of foliage. And yeah, so that's the end of the video, you guys. So if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to plant these things, definitely subscribe and hit the like button. I truly appreciate the support. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, much love. Bye.